Good morning. This is Frank with the Morning Quick Shot, brought to you by Trade Stalkers and Ninja Pro Traders. It's Monday, June the 5th. It's about 6:45 Central Standard Time. So let's get started. A lot of stuff going on today. Looks like we had open last night right here at 35.25. You can see we're right there again. We dropped down to overnight low 33, made overnight highs at 37.50. Just a little bit of a drop down, but mainly consolidation in this area. Looks like we're heading right back up into this area. So where do we go today? Well, again, the geopolitical news and the mainstream news here in the U.S. We're ignoring bad news, it seems, anywhere we go, and the market is just pushing up to all-time highs. Be very careful. It's a lot of complacency. It's about due for a pullback, and just don't know when that'll be. But you need to be ready for it and take advantage of it. So let's start off this morning with going to the upside, and we'll go from there. Now the market's sitting right here again at 35, looking for a bounce off of this zone. It's got to clear the open, clear the 24 VWAP. Next target 37.50 up to 38.50 right in this area, top of this little structure right here. Now, if we can come back and get a bounce after doing that, we're off the overnight high or not, right now at 37.50 area, push up into 39.75. Okay, if we can get that from Friday's high, and then we can come back down, probably a retest again of the same area, 38, possibly down into 36.75. So watch for this tight area as the market decides what to do here, and be very, very cautious. Breakout move from here to 39.75 up, if you like to break out trades, or once we get up into this area, test this 39.75. If we get this pullback, if it pullbacks to about the 38 area, here's your chance for a nice pullback entry, possibly even a counter trend, depending if it comes back down into this area. But I would say just a retracement entry, push up to the next target, 24.4250 zone to 44. Now, the rest of the zones we'll talk about, or the rest of the targets, we talk about market profile along with these zones. So after that, look for pullbacks again, possibly all the way down to retest this zone. Uh, Bears are not going to like being way up in here. A lot of complacency. We're going to start be looking down, especially as we approach the psychological level up here around the 5150 area. It's just purely psychological since we've never been there before. So we got to rely on projections. That's what we're really doing this morning. And look like next targets after here again, 39 to 40. Look for it to move up to 43, 44. Look for the pullbacks. There could be significant pullbacks as we move up. So it could be a big pullback, then up to the next target, a big pullback, and then up. But once we get up in this area, it's psychological. So we're probably going to get a nice run back and regroup before we start doing that, which should be good for us. Then we'll know exactly what targets we have. Okay. Now to the downside. If we come up in this area and we fail this overnight high right here at 37.50, if we do happen to make it up here at 39.75 double top up here from Friday, look for the pullback all the way down. If we break this double bottom, okay, first attempt at this is a long position and with a good stop down in here and just let it run up today. Now, if this fails and comes down, look for it to come all the way down into the 29.25. Now, it might come down here, pull down into 31, 32, somewhere in this area, come back up and retest it, but it's going to come back down to this open, down to Friday's low at 27.25, 24.27, excuse me. Then move on up. Okay, next target down. If it comes back, retest the open, pushes down. Look for us to come back down to 24.23 zone right in this area. If we break that, again, look all the way down 24.17, 24.11.10. So it's always possible to the downside considering the run up we've had. All right. So let's take a look at market profile. Now the first thing we want to look at is the daily. I've drawn some zones, left in some of the old stuff in here, so it's not as complicated as it looks. Let's assume we're right here this morning and where we're going to go from here. Now we haven't really stopped this move, but we're going to use this as a stop on the fib temporarily to look at where we're going to go. As you can see, made new zones up here, or new possible target at the 127.2 extensions for 24.66. But first of all, we've got to get through this 47. This is from the previous move up. Okay. This 27 is 447 as well, right here. So now look, we've got to break this from the old move to continue up. But once we do, we kind of fall into a zone where the last big move up and the current move is in progress, where targets might be in a couple zones. Got a zone from 6650 to 73. That's quite big, but that's where it's going to be. So look for the failure right up in this area to pull back. If we can break up in here, kind of a secondary zone up here, 24.7963 with the new move. So be cautious of that. Now, once we break above that, look, 2500 is the next target's at 1618. Not likely to happen. So let's scale this back to our 4-hour chart and take a look at what we've got. From the move up, since we started it back in here on May 18th, 4-hour chart, look, come back up here, tested the re-high, consolidated, pull back just a little bit to the 38, and off we go. All right, we blew right through these targets at 24.22 up to the 24.34, and this is where we're consolidating under the old. Now you can see the new 27.2 right here off this last little move from here to here. Okay, coming up, 24.42 is the next target, right in this zone. Break this zone, it's on up here, but look for a pullback to come back and retest this 33 to 27 right in here, kind of a big zone in this area, but this is the retest back up. Now as we look here, it's going to move up into the bottom of this 2450, and you remember that was one of our zones from previously that we talked about this morning. So this is where the overlap starts going with this one. Okay, as we move up into here, the first 127 extension is 2465, and then up here we've got 2475, 2479. So we've got some intermediate targets, and then here they both match about the 2498 on the 4-hour and the daily chart. So you got to be real cautious. This is probably this week's moves as we move up and down. So be real cautious. If you have any questions, contact Frank at TradeStalkers.com and have a great day.